There are so many incredible places in the world to photograph wildlife, but there is nowhere quite like the Serengeti. With incredible big cat sightings and the great wildebeest migration, the stage is set for some of the most productive photography that you will ever have. In the last video, we spent time with a family of cheetahs and some very impressive male lions. But now I was ready to take it easy on my trip and just see whatever sightings nature would provide. The first morning with that new strategy yielded us something truly special: bat-eared fox. They are usually very skittish animals, but this one came right up to our vehicle, almost as if it was investigating what we were doing in its territory. It quickly ran off, and I thought our sighting was over. But then it and its mate led us straight to their den, just as the golden light was starting to hit. Bat-eared fox mate for life, so watching these two run around and play was an incredible scene. They were so relaxed around us, and with the light being so good, I captured some of my best photos ever of these little guys. We decided to leave them and see what else we could find with the light being so perfect. Just a warning, the next scene gets a little graphic, so skip ahead if you're squeamish. We found a group of hyenas feasting on a wildebeest carcass, and since they were in an area of short grass, I knew this could be a good photo. Oddly enough, the hyenas seemed a bit shy around our vehicle, and only one was comfortable to eat with us nearby. Thankfully, I got some good shots of just the one though. As the morning dragged on, we knew we were on the lookout for cheetahs somewhere on the plains. After a bit of searching, we found our cheetah mom and her two tiny cubs in tow. As she scanned around looking for prey, I tried to get as low as possible to photograph her against the open grasslands with her cubs. Soon enough, the light became no good for photos, so we decided to leave them and come back in the afternoon. When we returned, she was still scanning around. But now she began to stalk, and clearly had spotted some prey in the distance to go after. But with the cubs sticking so close by, they kept blowing her cover, and it seemed like she wouldn't have a successful hunt this evening. Instead, it was back down, and time for the cubs to enjoy some dinner while Mom took a little rest. Photographing the interactions between a mother cheetah and her cubs has always been a dream of mine, so get ready because I took a lot of photos of this moment. The next morning, we made it our mission to head back towards the kopis to see if we could find lions in the morning light. That plan went out the window when we found the Punda Boys, a coalition of 3 male cheetahs. They were scent marking and on patrol, which meant that I got plenty of good shots just as the sun was beginning to rise. Namiri Plains is definitely cheetah country, and these boys were putting on a show for us. After photographing a mom and cubs the day before, spending time with a coalition of males was a nice change of pace. Out of nowhere, we spotted a lioness headed straight towards the males, who were completely unaware of her presence. I wasn't going to get a shot of this moment so close up, so all I could do was take a video with my phone and hope she wouldn't catch one of the cheetahs. Thankfully, they managed to outrun the Lioness, which made everyone breathe a sigh of relief. The cheetahs were shaken up, but otherwise safe and sound. We followed the Lioness back to some copies and realized why she was so defensive. She had cubs of her own to protect. The Punda Boys occupy the same territory as a pride of lions, which I'm sure makes for a very stressful existence. But with the light holding strong and lions on rocks, it was worth ditching the cheetahs to focus on them instead. Nearby, we spotted another lioness with cubs that were even younger than the ones we were watching. There were now too many subjects to choose from, and I couldn't decide where to point my camera. I briefly turned around and saw that the first lioness was now walking down the road with her cubs. She was awkwardly trying to pick them up in her mouth and wanted to move them to another kopje, which I knew meant a great photo was coming. This time, I was ready, and wow did I get some shots. With some incredible lion photos on my memory card, we went back to the Punda Boys to see what they were up to. They were scanning around as if they were looking to hunt, but nothing ever came of it, except for one nice landscape shot I was happy with. At this point in the day, both the cheetahs and the photographers were getting hot and needed a rest. Back at camp, we got some giraffes. Hanging out. They'd say hi, but they don't speak English, so. Just doing some photo editing, and there are giraffes right outside my tent. Serengeti's awesome. Later that afternoon, we scanned the woodlands looking for leopard, but as usual, came up short. We did find a cool martial eagle, but sadly I missed the shot when it decided to take flight. Then it was back to the kopjes to spend the rest of the day with the lions. The cubs were quite active and hopping all over Mom and each other. The cubs were much more inquisitive of us now, and they kept staring back at me, which led to some great portrait shots. As time went on, it seemed like everyone was starting to wake up and be more active. Mom decided to reposition herself, giving us a great view as the cubs climbed around her. And the other pride females were posing now too. With storm clouds building, this was shaping up to be a classic Serengeti scene. The next morning, we headed towards some different kopjes to look for big male lions. We found one male lion walking down the road, which I was determined to get some really low-angle shots of. He quickly reunited with one of his brothers, and I was hoping to get some nice shots of the two of them together. Then it was back to walking. Some more male lions showed up, including this big male who was sharpening his claws against a tree. I could tell that this male had that classic black Serengeti mane, and he was just beautiful. And then before we knew it, all 5 of the male lions decided it was nap time. Typical. That was the sign that it was time for us to find another sighting. We then caught up with the rest of the pride who were relaxing in the tall grass. There was a mom with cubs, but I just couldn't get the angle and light to cooperate, so I decided to cut my losses and move on. Then it was back to the plains again. It took a little bit of driving, but naturally we found a male cheetah. And just our luck, there was a herd of wildebeest marching by as well. The cheetah quietly began to stalk as they approached. With a buffet line of wildebeest coming by, the cheetah was waiting for just the right target to walk past. Then in a flash, he sprinted towards the herd, going after a young wildebeest. As quickly as it started, it was over, with the cheetah making a clean kill. Seeing a cheetah hunt is an extremely special sighting, but in Namiri Plains, that's just an everyday occurrence apparently. He had to catch his breath and scan around to make sure there were no predators nearby. And then he dragged his prize to enjoy for the afternoon.
So back at camp after my morning game drive, and this is what I find. A trail of flowers to a heart that says you're welcome. There is, I guess, a heart towel and some leaves. And it continues to a bubble bath. And a fountain. For the record, I'm not here on my honeymoon or anything like that, so it's just the camp being really nice. I can't complain. It's really cool. I like it.
As nice as the bath was, some pretty heavy rain clouds began to ominously form in the distance.
Our luck looks like it's about to run out here. Some heavy rain, all directions, no escape. Time to pray.
Not even 30 seconds out of camp, we came across a lioness moving her tiny cubs towards camp. This lioness likes to den around the staff quarters at camp, which is a little nerve-wracking, but an awesome sighting. We left that lioness as the sighting was getting too crowded, and found some more lions on the copies by camp. But they were being pretty lazy comparatively. There were some wildebeest heading straight towards them, but all the lions did was stare. We decided at this point to just try our luck and see if we could find a leopard in the woodlands. And 10 minutes later, we succeeded. My first leopard of the trip. A leopard in a tree isn't the most unique sighting, but after spending every afternoon looking for one, this was definitely worth it. She was watching us carefully, and I could tell she was a shy leopard, so I quickly took what shots I could before she jumped down and disappeared. We headed back towards the kopje to see if the lions were more active now. I did get one nice shot I liked, but then a call came in on the radio. Not just one, but 2 leopards. This was Mama Namiri and her cub, the resident leopards of Namiri Plains. They are much more used to vehicles compared to the shy one we saw earlier, but wow, 3 leopards in one game drive was just incredible. And just like that, our game drive was over. We got some amazing photos of a mother cheetah and cubs, multiple lions carrying their cubs, and finally the last big cat sighting of a leopard. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media for more. In the next video, we visit a different part of the Serengeti, with mixed results. But stay tuned, because this series ends with a bang.